Hello, and welcome to the first instructional video of English for Management and Leadership. You have just gotten to know a little bit about Elizabeth. She's been given the responsibility to put together a team for her new project. How would you make staffing decisions if you were Elizabeth? What style would you use? In this lesson, we will be following Elizabeth's thought process as we learn differences between direct and indirect approaches. You will also be given example situations of how to use these approaches. Direct approaches are used when you're almost certain you will receive an interested, positive, or neutral response. The approach is focused and specific. Direct approaches give ordinary information or good news up front. In contrast, indirect approaches are used when you think your audience may reply with disappointment, annoyance, or defensiveness. Or maybe you're not even sure how they will react to your idea. In the indirect approach, you start by giving reasons or evidence for your plan before giving your proposal or goal. You want your audience to be open to the ideas that are being presented. Let's take a look at one of Elizabeth's emails. As you watch the clip again, consider, does she use a direct or an indirect approach? In her email, she writes,
Hi, Gary. As we discussed, I'm building my team for the Biodent launch. I'm interested in Jake Bright for the marketing role and Catherine Rowland for finance. What's the procedure for talking to them about these roles? I'm out of the office today, but checking my messages. Anxious to get started. Thanks for the help, Elizabeth.
What style of approach does Elizabeth use? Did you say direct? If you did, you're right. Elizabeth states her request directly because it contains a neutral message. It's neutral because she's giving information, and Gary is not likely to be upset or bothered by her question. Gary, on the other hand, uses an indirect approach.
Elizabeth, I'm happy to help you with this. Let's talk to both of their managers before mentioning these opportunities to Catherine and Jake. Here's how we should proceed. I'll talk to Catherine Rowland's boss for you. In the past, she's not been open to losing Catherine and has requested that Catherine not be considered for other opportunities. I think she may be open to this change now because the timing is good. Catherine has expressed her interest in making a change. Why don't you go ahead and talk to Jake's boss? I think he will be open to this conversation, so go ahead and approach him. I'll be in my office at 1. Stop by if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Gary.
He doesn't have an answer for Elizabeth and can't guarantee her a yes answer, so using the indirect approach is more acceptable here. Gary gives Elizabeth reasons and builds up his evidence first before giving her an answer. When talking about Catherine's boss, he writes that she's not been open to losing Catherine and has requested that Catherine not be considered for other opportunities. Did you hear Gary's reasons in those sentences? She's not been open to losing Catherine, and she doesn't want her considered for other opportunities. Now here comes Gary's response. I think she may be open to this change because the timing is good and Catherine has expressed her interest in making a change. So you see, Gary gives Elizabeth some news. It's neither good or bad news, but he's not sure how Elizabeth will take it. So that's why he's chosen an indirect approach. Elizabeth may feel hope by the message because she has a chance at getting Catherine on her team. Or she may feel frustration because Catherine's boss won't let her go. When you're not sure how your message will be received, use an indirect approach. For the rest of this video, let's turn our focus to direct approaches. Though they are easy to create, you will still want to follow a simple pattern when asking for something or stating information directly. First, give your news or make a request. Ask for it concisely. What is the most important idea in your message? Be confident in your delivery. Remember, this is something your colleague or boss wants to hear. Next, add details or explanation. And finally, conclude with a friendly comment or a simple statement of action that may need to be taken. Here are some examples of the direct approach being used. You've made the A11 marketing team. That's great news. Work begins May 27th. Your office is located in 243. Those are the details. Contact your supervisor Kent for more information is the conclusion or request for action. Let's look at another example taken from an email this time. Mr. Roberts, your order is being shipped today. It will arrive to your offices by Thursday. We appreciate your business and know you will be pleased with your product. Both these message examples have positive or neutral intentions. Now you try. Write a direct approach using the formula. 1. Start with the message. 2. Add details. And 3. Conclude. Here is your direct message. The project will be completed in 1 week. With both types of approaches, it is crucial to know your audience. Audience here means your listener or your reader. Even when using a direct approach to someone in a superior position, there is still an extra amount of politeness to be used. Sometimes this may require adding a few more words leading into your statement. For example, if you want to tell your boss that a client agreed to open a new account, you would not immediately yell, "I got the McCarran's account!" But you might use a friendlier, still direct message. "Mr. Lloyd, good news! We got the McCarran's account." Different cultures also have different styles. Before choosing the direct approach, make sure your audience is used to it. The more familiar you are with someone, the more direct you can be. So let's review the takeaways from this lesson. Direct approaches are straightforward, concise, and give positive or neutral news. Indirect approaches are used when your message may cause doubt, resistance, or you don't know how it will be received. Consider your audience when deciding indirect or direct. Follow this format for direct approaches. 1. Start with the news. 2. Add details or explanation. And 3. Conclude. Stay tuned for the next lesson where we explore the indirect approach in much more detail. Thanks for watching English for Management and Leadership.